Hey bro.
What's up, mate? You seem down.
Well, I've spent all this money on these next-gen consoles and I'm just lagging everywhere online.
You know, I thought about getting one of those sort of creepy crawly things.
Creepy crawlies?
Yeah, you know those like spider things? One of these.
Oh, you mean one of them routers with 1,000 legs on it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, will that help me out with it?
Yeah, this will sort you right out.
So what I've gone ahead and done is designed this little makeshift setup, little next-gen gaming setup to demonstrate why Netgear have felt the need to put the word gaming on this router. So to the left here, obviously we've got one of our next-gen consoles, Xbox Series X here. We've got the Nighthawk Pro gaming router in the middle, and then here we've got some devices to help us get everything set up. So I'm going to do the initial setup of the router on my phone using the app, and then to go in and take control of all of the gaming features, we're going to move over to the MacBook. So we need to get this router set up. I've gone ahead and thrown a pin in the back of it. I've had this set up at my house for the last week, obviously testing it out. So here is an Ethernet cable. We're going to plug that into our internet side, give this thing some WAN access, and then I've also got another cable here. We're going to plug this into one of the unmanaged switch ports on the back of this device. That goes off to the laptop, so we can go ahead and log into the configuration page a little bit later. So like I mentioned, I'm going to get this thing set up using my iPhone here. So we're going to click enable camera and scan, and we're going to scan the QR code on the front of the Nighthawk, and that is probably, I think, going to connect us to its network. Okay, there we go, finally. It's taken about 2 or 3 minutes, but finally we've got router detected, and now it's going to ask us to personalize our settings here. So this is obviously where we can enter an SSID and password for the Wi-Fi that this thing is going to give off. Okay, so next it's asking us to set the admin username and password. Again, set something that you're going to remember here, because obviously you've bought a gaming router, so you're going to be going back to the OS of this thing and piping in this password every time you want to access its settings. Okay, now it says personalizing. I'm pretty sure it's sending all of this info that I've piped in and now to the router. The thing looks alright. I mean, I've seen worse routers, and worse meaning got more antennas sticking all over them. I'm not a fan of this whole like antenna sticking up thing. When companies like Ubiquiti come along and make a product where all the antennas are integrated into one body, like the Amplify Alien router, maybe some people like having these antennas. Maybe by looking at it, it makes it go faster or something. On the back, it's pretty simple. You've got a USB 3 port for, I don't know, like a file hub or a printer, something like that. You've got a 4-port unmanaged gigabit switch, and then you've got a gigabit WAN port for obviously internet, and then power in. You've got a dedicated on-off button there. Anyway, that's enough of that. Update successful. You guys obviously know how I feel about routers that look like spiders. I wish they integrated the antennas, and that's all I've really got to say. Let's click next. One thing I would like to note, and I'm happy I've done this, the first time I set this up a week ago at home, I set it up using the web GUI via my laptop, and it took about half the time it's taken to do it on the mobile app. For some reason, there's a lot of waiting around when setting up on the mobile app. But needless to say, we're in. We've got a picture of our router right there. And let's just take a little quick tour of this to see what the mobile app offers. Devices that are currently connected to this, we've got my 12 mini, which is connected by Wi-Fi, and then my laptop, which is connected by Ethernet there. Looks like we can toggle on and off the device too. Looks like you can go ahead and run some speed tests. You can go ahead and go into the Wi-Fi settings and change the Wi-Fi bands and network names. You can go down here and toggle on and off a guest Wi-Fi network if you would like to, but that is pretty much it as far as the app is concerned. The main reason why you got this router was because it has the word gaming in it, and you want to see some gaming features. So to get to those, we have to go to the web GUI on a device like a laptop. Now, probably the one downside I can say about this router so far throughout using it is that the OS does take some time to load, but once it's loaded and once you're in, it's absolutely fine. But the initial load, once you put the password in, does take about 5 to 10 seconds. So right now you guys can feast your eyes on the Duma OS dashboard. Now Duma OS is actually a bit of software that's developed by a company called Duma, and Netgear are actually working with this company to, well, incorporate the Duma OS software onto the Nighthawk routers, which is what you guys are seeing right here. Now it's actually some really powerful software, this, and for me to explain why and how this is so good and how it's going to help you, I need to explain a little bit of network terminology and how things can get a little bit spiky. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to open up a terminal window on my laptop, and we're going to go ahead and run a ping command. So remember that my laptop is connected directly to the Nighthawk via an Ethernet cable. I'm going to do ping 8.8.8.8, and as you can see right there, we're getting a nice ping time of around 70 milliseconds. That's fine, isn't it, for gaming? We're gonna have no spikes, everything's gonna be good, until somebody comes home, right? And their phone connects to our Wi-Fi network. And let's just say their phone has got some, I don't know, some photos to upload to iCloud, or they wanna just, I don't know, download something on their phone or their laptop somewhere else in the house. Well, we'll simulate that by running a speed test. So if we go to fast.com and click enter, just to simulate somebody else downloading something on the network, we can see that our ping time right here has shot up to 65. That's not what gamers want, is it? Gamers want low ping, we want that 17 ping back. And as you can see, as soon as we stop stressing out the network, as soon as our internet speed test finishes, we're back down to 60 milliseconds again. And this is why a lot of people come to me saying, Alex, I've got really good internet, I've got really fast internet at home, however, I'm getting loads of ping spikes, you know, when I'm gaming. And that's because, well, if you're gaming and somebody else is sucking up all the bandwidth, that is going to really impact your ping, whether you like it or not. Okay, so how are we going to mitigate these nasty ping spikes with our brand new Duma OS enabled Netgear router? Well, first off, we're going to go to connection benchmark and we're going to do a speed test directly from the router so we know exactly what we're getting into our device. So let's click run test here and see what we get back. I should say something around 70 meg down and about 8 meg up. Oh wow, and then it's also now, it's demonstrating literally what I'm trying to demonstrate for you guys. So it's done a ping test and then it's done a ping test whilst it's under load as well. Oh, look at it! Look at the ping whilst it's under load. Oh my! But as you can see, I was right, we get about 70 meg down and we get about 8 megs up, which is saying it's fast enough here for Ultra HD. Take that with a grain of salt. So now we know that, we can go over to the QoS. Now this is where this is gonna get super interesting and we're gonna start mitigating all of our ping spikes. Now it's currently set to never, so it looks like they've got an auto feature here, but what I'm gonna do is just set this to always because I want it to always be monitoring my connection. And then what we need to do is tell the router the internet speed that comes in. So we're gonna click these 3 dots here and then we're gonna click set bandwidth speeds, and now we can go ahead and set the speed that we get in. And now you can see these 2 bars here, this is changed to 70 and 8. So now what we're gonna do, and you can experiment with this at home, but I've found around 85% is good. We're going to, and obviously this is going to limit your actual speed coming to this house. So let's say you get 100 meg in and you set this to 85, it's only going to give you 85 meg, if that makes sense. And we'll go ahead and do the same with our upload. Again, I'm gonna set it to around 85%. Now essentially what this is doing, and it's obviously it's like clockwork, but what this is doing is preventing any one device on your network from hogging up the entire network and giving you ping spikes. It's always going to leave you that little bit of headroom. We're going to open up our terminal window, we're going to type ping 8.8.8.8 and we should see a nice healthy 70 milliseconds. Brilliant. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is go to fast.com and stress the network. There we go, we're currently stressing our network, and as you can see, we are staying around 18 milliseconds and not going up to 50. Look how constant that is. So to move on to the next feature, we need to get this Xbox Series X connected up to our Nighthawk. Now I'm going to do this via Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi 6 is obviously great and it's worst case scenario. I could connect a cable. If you guys would like to learn about Wi-Fi 6, by the way, we did a video, so I'll stick that up there in the cards too. So there is our TechFlow networks. We'll connect to the 5G one and put our really secure password in. So we're going to go back into the router software here and we're going to add our device under the geo filter. So here it is. Here's our devices connected. We're going to click on Xbox here and then we're going to click next. Now basically this is a per game thing, so when you're changing games you're going to have to change the router settings, but for now we're going to test it on Warzone. So I'm going to go down here and now this circle has come round and we are in the middle of it, and I can use the set distance slider down here to make the circle bigger or smaller. Now by default your Xbox is going to search for servers and games anywhere in the world that it can find them, right? But what we want to do is bring this right down so it's only going to search for people that are geographically closer to us, therefore we're going to get a better ping time. So now hopefully we can demo this by going into Warzone and simply just searching for a game. Now what we're going to see is over on the Duma OS here, we're going to hopefully see that it's going to find servers outside of our specified area and block them, and it's going to allow servers that are inside our specified area. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. But it's connected us to a server that's in our radius, like really close. Look, if we zoom in, we can actually see what server we are connected to. Check that out. That's sick. we're connected to the UK server. So there we go. We're getting about 60 ping in Call of Duty, which isn't too bad. And what I'm also going to go ahead and do is run a fast.com to stress our network, and hopefully we should not see this go over 100. And I'm stressing out the network. So that proves that the QoS is working. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try a different game just to test the theory. Going to move over to Apex Legends. Okay, so I've removed the Call of Duty. We're going to go ahead and add our device again. We're going to click Xbox. We're going to click Continue, and then we're going to choose the game that we're playing. So we've got Apex Legends right here at the top. Let's click Next and click Continue. It threw me out of the game because it tried to connect. It tried to connect me to a server that was outside my radius. It was over here, it's disappeared now. Maybe we need to bump our radius up just a slight bit more. Maybe I'm being a little bit too mean. Okay, now let's see if we can get ourselves into a game. Let's search there and hopefully we can get ourselves in. It's found a player over here. So there we go, it looks like it's settled on the server that I'm connecting to, being again in London, which is, well, it's essentially just forced a server that's in my own country, which is what it was designed to do, to force you to geolocate to somewhere that is close to you, instead of me connecting to being in the UK, somewhere like America, and having a ping time over 200 milliseconds. So whilst I'm just testing this, I'm also going to go ahead and go to fast.com again and stress out the network. So as you can see, we're doing a speed test now on fast, and there's people close, there's people really close. Right, okay, I've downed somebody, and I'm doing a speed test. Let's see if I can finish him off. Okay, we're stressing out the network, and it works. Let's see if we can kill this guy as well. See ya! Just killing people while I'm literally running speed tests. Run another speed test. Look, we're still going. Now, obviously, this router has some great features that are specifically designed for gamers, as demonstrated in this video, and they work really, really well. But before I close out in this video, I want to go through the other features that this router has that can also sometimes be found on other routers. But before we go ahead and do that, I'd like to go ahead and thank NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Now, VPNs are popping up everywhere, but what makes NordVPN different? Well, as you guys know, I absolutely love speed, especially when it comes to internet. And NordVPN allow you, even though you're going through one of their VPN servers, really, really fast internet speed. So let's say you're away from home and you're wanting to get a UK IP address to port back to home to pretend you're here to watch your favorite football game, for example. You're not going to be sat there on the beach having your football game buffer, because NordVPN ain't about that life. VPNs are also really useful if you're a coffee shop surfer. What do I mean by that? Well, you take your laptop to a lot of coffee shops to go and do work, and you sat there on unsecured public Wi-Fi networks. Well, the VPN app from Nord is super, super simple. You click a button, you VPN'd in, and now you are securely online without anybody being able to trace what you're doing. NordVPN also have over 5,500 servers in 60 countries. They've got no data logging, they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee, and to top it all off, they've got 24/7 round-the-clock support. So if you're struggling with your VPN needs, they will be there to help you. Now, if you do like what we're saying and you would like to support us here and what we do at TechFlow, you can go ahead and get some discounts off NordVPN with their Christmas offer. So if you buy 2 years of VPN, you will get 4 months completely for free. So use code TechFlow at checkout or go to nordvpn.com/TechFlow. Thanks Nord for sponsoring the video. The network monitor here is also really, really interesting. So if I open up a new tab and go to fast.com again and we do a little stress test, you can see here that, well, it's absolutely going mental on this page because I'm stressing out the network, obviously. And then if you go into the settings portion, you get a lot of settings that are found on a wide variety of routers. However, I know a lot of you are going to want to go into the wireless setup and see what settings you can change in there. So let's all go have a look. So at the top here, you've got Enable AX. AX is basically Wi-Fi 6 if you want to have that disabled or enabled. The reason you disable that is if you're having backwards compatibility issues with older devices trying to connect to the network. There is also a Smart Connect feature. This is something that I was looking for when I first got this, because both the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz networks were completely separated, but you can do Smart Connect, have one network, and have the router intelligently connect each device to each network. So that is basically it. Gaming routers in 2020. So now I know you sat there behind your computer saying, Alex, do I need to get one or not? And I think this router is for a specific type of person. If you are struggling with ping spikes, on your network, then I think this would be a good investment. If you have a internet speed coming in your house that is below about 100 megabits per second and you've got a family of 4 and everybody's trying to get on and it's congested all the time, then this will help you. If you're wanting to try and completely have control over the servers that your console or gaming PC is connected to, then this device is for you. But if you're not struggling with internet, you've got plenty of bandwidth and no one's hogging it all the time and using it all, this thing isn't really going to help you unless you want to use the geo filters that it has. Other than that, a normal router with QoS will do you just fine. But that's been the Nighthawk Pro 2020 review. My name's been Alex, this has been TechFlow, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.